Hey, I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about Married to Medicine because I love me some Dr. Heavenly. I love the show. I love the ladies. I love their accolades. And their accomplishments. But this is the big thing is they're on Heavenly's ass now because of her talking about each of them on YouTube. And how, especially Contessa, who Dr. Heavenly notably named Contessa, they were really good friends, and Contessa is wanting to ambush her into this whole, you talked about me and my family and my husband and my marriage, and you laughed about that, and it's not funny, Heavenly, and this and this and that and that. And I'm sitting here like, now I've watched every episode of this show, and I've watched Dr. Heavenly's reviews and her reads and her commentary on her YouTube page. Contessa was on her YouTube page. So when is it not funny anymore? Or when is it a problem? When it's about you? And the ladies, so the episode airs, they go to each of their updates and what's new in their lives. Quad has her brother's son and her mom living at the house because her brother passed away, so she's taking care of him. Toya's doing the same old bullshit, nothing. And they're trying to move out this new house they done went into renting, and it's just like, Toya, y'all just look stupid on TV for no reason. Y'all got money, but you look stupid. Does it matter to me? Not really, but it's a show, and that's what I'm talking about. And Dr. Heavenly with her beauty supply store, which is doing good, and it's whatever. But then the Dr. Heavenly goes on, for those of you who don't know, Dr. Heavenly goes on YouTube and discusses the events from the show. She talks about every piece of the show. She has her notes down, as I do have my notes down when I'm talking about these shows, just for recap and memory purposes. Heavenly doesn't, to me, and maybe because I'm the same type of person, she's not talking about what wasn't already said. So Contessa is, oh, you're talking about my family and my marriage, it's not a joke, and this, and I'm like, but you were sitting there, like, you were on TV before she talked about it. Like, Dr. Heavenly didn't come on YouTube before the show aired. She comes on after the show airs, and everything that she says is what you said. So why are you mad about it? She can't talk about it? She can't have an opinion about it? People in friend groups and associate groups talk about things that have happened in the friend group, talk about conversations that have happened in the friend group, and that's it, a conversation. Heavenly replies to people with her thought, what she feels. Someone asks, and I think the part that hurt her when she said, someone asked, does Scott abuse Contessa? And her response was, no, but I think he verbally and mentally abuses her with his words and actions, as did Martell Holt and did to Melody. They use their words and other actions to abuse them. That was her opinion. She didn't say, I know for a fact that Scott does this. I know for a... She didn't do that. So I'm still confused to why Contessa is upset. Can somebody help me? Because I still don't get it. Like, and they did this whole video montage of her talking about each of them and talking to each of them, and it's like, I'm still confused as to what the problem is, because again, she is repeating what everybody has already said. So what is the big issue? Somebody help me understand, because I'm lost, I'm confused, I am befuddled and bewildered. And like, they go through, oh, she said, oh, Quad sleeping with married men, and then she laughed about it. But her and Quad had a conversation. They talked about it before, they talked about it after, and they moved on. We heavily gonna always go in on Toya, because Toya is just an easy target at any given moment, because Toya is just dumb as hell, and or she makes herself appear to be dumb as hell. Let me just say that. Now we're gonna start talking about that. Now Anila, her nanny that she had because the kids were little, was moving back with her family because her daughters or her family had small children and they wanted her to take care of them. It was very awkward to me because the nanny, Miss Gomez, had a dinner for Anila and her husband, and she was saying, you know, this is my last day. My last day is coming, and I don't know how they did a timeline because it seemed very abrupt. She said, I've been telling you guys for years, I'm leaving. Like, this is really it. And Anila said, can I give you more money? She goes, it's not about money. It's about my family. Well, how much do you want? Insulting. Don't insult my intelligence and or who I am as a person to my family. Like, if you tell me I'm going to give you $10,000 more, then I'm going to say, fuck my family. That was just rude. And that's people who have money and don't know what to do with it. Or abuse it, I'll say, for lack of better words. And Ms. Gomez was like, no, this is it. Then it's like the next day, it seems like she was telling the kids, they're in the kitchen, and it just was so random. They're in the kitchen, and she's like, baby's like, this is my last day. I'm not going to be here anymore. And I'm like, damn, nobody gave the kids a warning. Nobody said Ms. Gomez's last day is coming up. We have to get ready for her. Like, just to maybe help ease the transition. Nope. At that counter table, Ms. Gomez said she was leaving. At that counter table, Ms. Gomez said bye-bye, and I'm not coming back. And it was so cute. Anila's son was like, who's going to make my pinto beans? I was like, oh, that was so cute. But it was just sad that y'all adults didn't think to give kids transition or give them time to adjust to her not being there, from being there for over 2 to 3 years. It was a poor judgment call on the parents' part. I'm sorry. And if production made it seem like it was that short and it wasn't, then shame on production. But if it was Anila and her husband, shame on them. But it just looks crazy either way. And they see her driving, like she drives it for her family in the driveway, and the kids are crying, which is really sad. Toya is in this rental house again, wants to buy another house, and Eugene is just sitting there like, okay, girl, whatever you want. I'm just, at what point, Toya, at what point? You get this big house that your dream house, you put your name in the foundation of the house, and now all of a sudden, because you made allegedly $1 million from the sale of the house, you want to sell it. But what you sold it for, and with closing costs, and once you transfer deeds and titles and names and this and that, you kind of didn't make no money because you had to move and put it somewhere else, to a rental property. My child. But that was Married to Medicine. What y'all think? Is Dr. Heavenly wrong? And what about Anila?